The room went silent the moment she said it. Her voice cut through the laughter, through the clinking glasses, through the soft music playing in the background. It was sharp, sharp enough to slice whatever fragile thread of dignity I had left. "Don't touch me. You're disgusting." Everyone turned. Some froze with half-raised forks. Some pretended suddenly to be fascinated by their drinks. But nobody missed it. Nobody. Including me. I stood with my hand still slightly lifted, the ghost of a touch lingering in the air, as if my skin hadn't yet understood that it had just been rejected. Publicly, brutally. My wife, Elena, stared at me with eyes that used to be warm but now were filled with something colder than hatred. Contempt. A small, embarrassed smile tugged at her lips as if she regretted her tone, but not the words. She stepped away from me, her wine glass trembling slightly in her hand. "Let's just not do this here," she added through tight teeth. But damage had already been done. People exchanged looks. One couple excused themselves. Someone whispered something that made another person gasp. The party continued, but for me, the world had already stopped. The night that wouldn't end. I drove home in silence. Elena sat beside me, looking out of the window, refusing to meet my eyes. Her perfume filled the car, the same scent I once loved, now suffocating. When we pulled into the driveway, she finally spoke. "You shouldn't have touched me," she said flatly. "It was just my hand on your waist," I whispered. "You're my wife." She let out a short, bitter laugh. "Yeah, your wife." The way she said it made something inside my chest collapse in on itself. We walked into the house like strangers. She went straight to the guest room and closed the door behind her. The click of the lock echoed down the hall like a final verdict. I lay awake the whole night, staring at the ceiling, replaying her words again and again. "Don't touch me. You're disgusting. Why? Why now? Why like that?" But nothing prepared me for the next morning. The morning reveal. When I woke up, the house was still. Too still. I walked into the kitchen and found Elena sitting at the table. Her hair still messy from sleep, a cup of untouched coffee in front of her. Her eyes were red. She didn't look up when I entered. "Elena, about last night." "I'll tell you the truth," she said abruptly. "But you might wish you never heard it." My stomach tightened. She finally raised her eyes to mine. "There's someone else." The world snapped. I had imagined pain before. Imaged betrayal. Imagined heartbreak. But the reality was a blade that twisted slowly, deliberately. I grabbed the back of a chair because my knees weakened. "How long?" My voice sounded foreign, cracked. She swallowed. 6 months. 6 months. Half a year. While I cooked for her. While I made her coffee in the mornings. While I planned our anniversary trip, she suddenly said she was too busy for. While she came home late claiming work was insane. Everything fell into place now, like a puzzle I never wanted to solve. "What's his name?" I asked. She hesitated, and hesitating was already an answer. "His name. Elena. His name. Mark," she whispered. My chest clenched. Mark, her coworker. The one she always described as, just a friend who makes the office bearable. I laughed. Hollow, shaking laugh. And shouting that I'm disgusting. Was that for him? Or just to humiliate me? She flinched. "I didn't mean it like." "Stop," I cut her off. "Just stop." Silence fell between us, thick enough to choke on. I walked to the window, opened it, and let the cold morning air hit my face. Anything to keep from breaking down in front of her. "You could have talked to me," I said quietly. "You could have told me you weren't happy." "I tried," she whispered. "No," I said, shaking my head. "You pulled away. There's a difference." The phone that broke everything. I thought the worst part was over. But betrayal is rarely that simple. As Elena went to shower, her phone buzzed on the table. Message. I shouldn't have looked. But I did. And the world, whatever was left of it, shattered completely. "Mark, you handled it perfectly last night." He looked pathetic. "Can't wait to see you tonight, beautiful." My hand shook so violently I almost dropped the phone. She humiliated me, for him. She wanted him to see it, to laugh at me, to feel powerful. A sound escaped my throat, something between a sob and a growl. My vision blurred. My heartbeat roared in my ears. When Elena walked back into the room, towel wrapped around her hair, she froze at the sight of her phone in my hand. "You read it," she whispered. "Did you expect me not to?" She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. For once, she had no words. "Elena," I said quietly, "tell me the truth. Did you shout at me because he asked you to?" Her silence was the answer. He nodded. "Okay." The calm after the storm. Some men scream. Some throw things. Some beg. I did none of that. I walked past her, went to our bedroom, and calmly packed a bag. She followed me, panic creeping into her voice. "Daniel, wait. I'm not staying here," I said without looking at her. "Please. Don't do this." "You already did," I replied. She grabbed my arm, the same arm she recoiled from last night. The irony almost made me laugh. "I made a mistake," she said, voice breaking. "A horrible mistake." I finally looked at her. "No," I said. "A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. A mistake is losing your temper." Then I pointed toward her phone. "That is a choice." She crumbled. Tears spilled down her cheeks. She sank onto the bed, sobbing into her hands. I stood there, watching the woman I once knew become a stranger in front of me. I wanted to comfort her. I wanted to touch her hair. I wanted to tell her it was going to be okay. But her voice from the previous night echoed in my head. "Don't touch me. You're disgusting." So I stepped away. An unexpected visitor. As I reached the front door, someone knocked. I opened it and froze. Mark. He looked startled to see me. "Oh. Daniel." Behind me I heard Elena gasp. I stared at him with a calm I didn't know I possessed. "You should go," I said quietly. He smirked, actually smirked. "Look, man. I know this sucks, but..." Before he finished, I stepped closer, inches from his face. "Say one more word," I whispered, "and I will make sure the next sound you hear is your teeth hitting the ground." The smirk vanished. He stepped back. Then another step. Then he turned and left without another word. When I shut the door, Elena was standing there, trembling. "Did he come here for you?" "Yes." She closed her eyes. "I told him not to. I swear." I believed her. But it didn't matter anymore. The final goodbye. Picked up my bag again. "Daniel," she whispered. "Please don't leave me. I'll end it. I'll block him. I'll do anything." Her voice cracked. "I still love you." I looked at her for a long, quiet moment. Then I shook my head slowly. "You don't get to destroy me," I said softly, "and then ask me to save you." Her face crumpled. I walked to the door. Just before stepping outside, I turned back. "Elena." She looked up, hopeful, desperate. "Next time you choose someone over the person who loves you. Pause. Make sure he's worth the price." Her sob followed me out the door. Epilogue. The morning after. I walked down the street, the morning sun rising behind me, warming my face. And for the first time in months I could breathe. My heart was shattered. My trust was gone. My marriage was over. But I was free from lies. Free from pretending. Free from someone who saw my love as something to mock. The sting of betrayal still pulsed in my chest. But beneath it, quietly, faintly, was something I never expected to feel at the end of everything.